Hi everyone, it is almost the middle of the month, but I am going to today unbox this, then make some art with the stuff inside. So let's go on. This box may have been sitting on my desk for over a week now. That's a possible thing. Let's just ignore that. I will say that I've been too busy, too distracted, something. Let's see what we've got. Okay, I tried to avoid it, but I saw that we were going to get some sort of paint. I didn't know that it's soft body acrylic. I did suspect it was Liquitex though. And I've received a cool light blue color. Looks like it's a really interesting one. So I'm excited to play with this one already. Menu aside, blah! We've got a Crybaby, and it is extra sour orange flavor maybe. And then the puzzle, let's explore. It's already unwrapped itself, that's cool. Or unstuck the sticker of itself. We have, things that I had no idea of. Oh, except I assumed we would get a paintbrush. That's cool. It's a Princeton Velvet Brush 8. I have been so tempted to go buy more Princeton Velvet Touches after I received a couple. I think they were in powerful packs maybe. And I definitely wanted a larger round and a larger flat. And I've received a larger flat. It is an 8 flat shader. Is that the same as a flat? I guess pretty close to it. Anyway, I'll just call it a flat. And they feel so good. Awesome. We also have, what is this? A zebra. I love zebra products. A zebra brush pen in a pinkish rose, maybe? Okay, so let's try this out. It looks like the tip of it frays almost instantly a tiny bit. It's a metallic shade, a kind of pinkish rose metallic. I really love the metallic sense to it and the color, but I'm just a bit concerned about it fraying. Can get definitely a big range of line variation, but hopefully that fraying thing won't be too much of an issue. The sticker is a lovely autumn or fall kind of scene with all these different leaves changing colors. It's very pretty. And then our last item is a Faber-Castell 0.7 Eco Pigment. It's a green body, so I think it is a green liner. That's really cool. We've had so many in different boxes of just black liners. Once or twice maybe I've received grey liner pens, but it's pretty rare to receive a coloured liner, so I'm excited for that. Alright, so I have light blue paint, rose pink metallic pen, and a green liner. This is going to be an interesting art adventure, that's for sure. Okay, let's see what I can make from it. Let's go on an art adventure. I totally forgot to show this brush again when I did the recap of the items. I received an 8 flat shader. I believe people received different ones from the menu description, which when I opened up this paint, I spilt paint all over and on my desk and other things, and I've had to make a mess of washing it off. But anyway, the price range for the brush says a different price range from $8.15 to $9.95, so I'm sure people receive different kinds of brushes. Anyway, I was thinking initially I might draw some animals today, but I just couldn't think of a way to make these materials work for... I guess I was focused on wanting to draw birds, and I guess I could stylize them or whatever, but as I was thinking, I decided maybe it's time to create a few different Christmas cards or holiday cards. Especially since last year, things took over a month to arrive to friends around the world, so I'm actually probably a bit late to the game. So I'll try to do 1 or 2 cards. Let's start with some sketching of ideas, and then if they work out, I'm going to cut them off and cut them out and then place them onto these Strathmore pre-prepared watercolor cards. These are just ones that I've had around for ages and I want to try and use them up. But these are Strathmore greeting cards in watercolor. I think are a great deal. And then for the other paper, I'm using some quite cheap De La Rowney 300 GSM Aquafine watercolor paper. And when I bought this pack, you receive a number of them in the pack, and it's 12 sheets plus 4 extra sheets for free. So super extra good deal. Okay, so my first idea, and I'm just going to use some pencils to sketch with because we didn't get any. I'm going to just use some Prismacolor Colorays pencils in red and green to make it a Christmassy holiday feel. So I decided to make 3 Christmas cards. The first one is a stylized fashion model, but as a Christmas tree. I look up a reference pose to see a girl that's holding a glass of champagne. I think it's just showing kind of her above the neck, and the rest I just make up. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that drawing comes out. I was a bit rusty for drawing because it had been a little while since I've done any drawing, and drawing people is a challenge for me. But yeah, it turned out okay. And I also recommend, if you're making cards, to try or consider creating a number of cards at once. So I kind of bounce around doing different things. You can see me putting down the blue acrylic, soft body acrylic paint there. And then I move on to the next card and I use some, masking fluid. And that has actually started to finally dry up. I've had it for over 5 years. It's the Holbein masking fluid. It's a really great one. And then I go back to doing my other sketches. One is a couple of candy canes with a bow and ribbon around it and some mistletoe, and the third one is a snowman. And then you can see me putting in the metallic pen, the zebra metallic pen, and putting in a bit of green. And I also found that you can water it down, and I actually really love the watery shade of that pen. I just scribbled it onto the ceramic palette, added a bit of water, and got a nice green wash from it. And also, I saw some other people's videos with the zebra pens, and I didn't think that they would be water-based and be able to wash down nicely, but they are. And then later I used that for the sentiments. So you can see that I'm going to cut all the pieces out now and then begin to think about how they're going to be placed on the card. I also have these kind of dot foam things that will raise up elements on a card, and it gives dimensionality to the card, which I think is really interesting. So you'll see me organize that as well, and also, paint the other backgrounds and get the cards prepared. I also use some washi tape around the borders so that it's going to have a nice white border around the blue, and I can then begin to place all the elements, including the sentiments. So here you're seeing that I take the zebra pen and I water it down, and it creates a really lovely kind of rosy pink, almost a flesh tone, but more pinky, or at least a Caucasian flesh tone. And then this one, I'm using it in full strength, but I found it really quite tricky to use. Like I said, the tip of that brush pen really did fray slightly, just a little bit, but enough to make it really difficult to actually get the fine point that you want from a brush pen. And so it's really quite disappointing that it just happened as soon as I got it. And I think maybe some other people might have had a similar experience. For some of the sentiments, I use some stamps, and sometimes I get a bit annoyed when I see unboxings and I see people using stuff that's not in the box, but I couldn't help it for the sentiments. So I use some stamps, and I also put that down with Versamark ink, which is transparent. And then you can put down embossing glitters, or what are they called? Embossing powders on top of it, and then heat it with a heat gun to create whatever design. You can use it for stamps or whatever if you've never seen people stamping or making cards before. It's really interesting to check out. And so then it's just a matter of assembling all the different parts and putting those foam dots in for dimensionality, like I said. I've also got a little corner cutter to round off the corners, which I think gives it a really nice finished look to it. And I'm really pleased with how those cards ended up turning out. A really nice way to finish my ArtSnacks subscription, because I decided to end it after this box. I've got a surprise for the end of December where I'm receiving a whole new box that's just pretty brand new on the market from Germany. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called UpCrate. I suggest you check it out. I'll leave a link down below. I'm not sponsored, but I think it's so far been a really amazing box, and I really recommend that you check it out as well. And it ships to pretty much anywhere in the world for free, which is so cool. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon for another art adventure. Create a little more, consume a little less. Take care, guys. I totally forgot to let me know in the comments below what you think of these Christmas cards or holiday cards, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me if you become an official art adventurer. It really helps out my channel. Bye!